What are the incentives for a man to get married?
Realistically, there aren't any.
Is there anything a married couple can do that an unmarried couple can't do?
No. Really?
Yeah,
If you
no.
think about it, no. If you're dating and then you get married, nothing should really change. Except for, the status.
Should the over 50% divorce rate be a concern of his?
That's
yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
Women typically get alimony and child support. Men typically have to pay all this money and lose half of their stuff. Should that be a concern of men getting married?
If they're confident in love, then they shouldn't worry.
Right, but do you think that anyone who ever got divorced wasn't in love going into it?
No.
No?
Yeah, sometimes. If
Right.
people use them.
Right, but I'm just saying, if there's no incentive for a man basically to get married, why should a man risk losing half of everything he has for something that doesn't really benefit him?
Well, why should a woman?
Because men typically are the ones with more assets going into marriage than women are?
Not in this day and age.
Really? So you think that most women will marry a man who has less than she does? That doesn't typically happen. Most
I
women
would.
women are more likely to marry for money, and they've done that throughout history, don't you think?
Yeah, but I think times are changing and women are getting more opportunities.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got It's Complicated. And look, man, we gotta appreciate, that the fact that he's doing stuff like this, man, for the simple fact that, he's asking questions. He asks questions that are very simple, but then when you start thinking about it, you're like, okay, shoot, it will really have you thinking, man. So he'll have you thinking about some very simple questions, man. So, I enjoy it, man. People on here, some people are very honest. You got some women that's on here that are very honest. You got some men that's on here that are very honest. And this is the type of thinking, this is the type of stuff that we need. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure these people are gonna start, thinking and be like, you know what, man, let me actually think about this, right? Because you got two people in here that I believe it looked like they just got married. I'm not sure, but they probably gonna be thinking about a whole lot in their marriage, in their upcoming marriage, man. So let's go ahead and jump into this.
Do you think women care more about getting married than they care about being married?
Yeah, 100%.
Why is that?
Because they want the big fancy wedding and the party.
But they don't want to be wives?
Yeah, pretty much.
What are your thoughts on the expression happy wife, happy life?
I was going to say, I hope so, but yeah.
Why not happy spouse, happy house?
Yes, exactly. What about that?
But the women are in charge, right? Come on.
Is marriage
Yeah, you see, as she just said, she was like, well, the women are in charge. No, not really. Women are not in charge in a relationship. But, the saying happy wife, happy life, to me, that's destructive. To me, that's destructive, man, because no matter what wife you have, depending on if I can't be happy in my relationship, what makes you think I could get enough energy to make my wife happy, right? There's so many men that go to lengths to make sure that their wife is happy, and sometimes they can't even freaking get it right because their wife is just it has a certain way of thinking. Their wife wants to have it their way. So no matter what they do for that woman, it will never be enough. It will never be enough. And then on top of that, it's just like, okay, what about the man? What about the man? What about his happiness? The only way a household can be peaceful is only if the woman is happy, not the man. Even though the man is the one that's out here making sure the house is good, making sure everything in the household goes as planned, making sure everybody is fed, making sure clothes is on everybody's back. Man is leading the household. But yet we got to make sure the wife is happy, and she's hardly putting anything in there. Women have the role. Women have the roles in the household, just like men do. But the thing is, women can slack on their roles because hey, that makes her happy. If she don't want to have to do all the work in the house, that's fine. That is fine. I'ma do all the work. Once again, what about the man? Because generally, if the man falls, generally the household tend to fall. So it needs to be, like he said, happy spouse, happy house. But in most cases, it needs to be a happy man, happy household. If the man falls out, if something happens to that man, he dies off or whatever, a lot of women, man, generally have to downgrade or find somebody else that can take his place. So, you know, it should be happy spouse, happy house, not no happy wife, happy life. Because once again, I mean, a lot of these women, especially in modern day society, you can't even make them happy. You can't even make them happy. And then going back to that first question, the guy, he asked, well, do women, like the idea of getting married or being married? And, you know, and people saying, you know, she hit it on the head. She's like, man, you know, these women want the big weddings. These women want this and that. I can't tell you how many times, man, women sit up here, you know, oh, I want to get married. You know, I want to have a big wedding. That's the first thing they talk about. I want to have a big wedding. I want to have groomsmaid and all that, or whatever the hell you call them, groomsmaid. And I don't know, because I really don't care for marriage. You know, like, I don't care to have weddings, not marriage, but I don't care to have weddings. Like, I don't like a wet, like, I just want to take my shorty to the courthouse, spend that $50 and keep it moving. But these women, man, want. I mean, I even told my girlfriend, I said, man, dude, you want to sit up here and you want this big ass wedding to have all your family come up here, to have family members you ain't never talked to have family members you don't even freaking know to come up here to your wedding. It's just stupid to me. It's just stupid to me. It's just too much to go into a wedding. A simple, yo, hey, let's go and sign a certificate and keep it moving. I think that would suffice. But, you know, modern day women, man, they just want that idea of being a princess. They want that idea of all eyes on me. You know, so then after marriage and then after the honeymoon, then what? After the wedding and after honeymoon, then what? Now you're back to reality. Now it's okay, well, you know, everybody go back to the roles. Woman, you done had your damn wedding. You know, it was all about you. Now it's time to get back to life. And women don't want that. And then women want to say, okay, well, you know, and now we need to start fixing stuff, you know, to make me happy. You know, to make, you know, happy wife, happy life, right? We just had a wedding. That just made me happy. Now we need some more. It's ridiculous, man.
50-50?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
So.
What are your thoughts on the expression happy wife, happy life?
I think it's accurate.
Why not happy spouse, happy house?
Okay, that's more accurate.
It's both ways.
So why don't we have happy spouse, happy house?
I don't know. It's women who feel that they should just be happy and not.
Isn't that kind of selfish?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that relationship doomed to fail?
Yes.
Is marriage 50-50?
No.
Who carries more of the burden?
The man.
How so?
Well, if he's a working man, he's out in the field more working and taking care of the responsibilities of the home.
They are the sole provider of the household, and along with that, all the other things that come with being the sole provider of a household.
Let me ask you something, right? So we have a lot of people, right? We have a lot of women, man, I'm gonna talk about my sisters. We have a lot of sisters that will sit up here and say, well, you know, men ain't ish, this and that, you know, I done dealt with some men that y'all done dealt with some men that were this and that were that. And it's like, okay, you have your trash men, right? You will forever have your trash men no matter what race you jump into. You will forever have your trash men. But here's the thing, right? It just bothers me that women always point towards the men that are trash and that they pick, right? So anytime we're talking about a man, and on this channel, if we're talking about a man positively, we're talking about a man. Anytime we bring up a man, we're talking about a man who does what he's supposed to do as a man in just life and in a relationship. In a relationship and a marriage, a man is supposed to be the sole provider. He's supposed to the man is the one that's supposed to provide everything, right? The man is the one that's supposed to provide everything. So for you women, anytime that y'all want to sit over here and talk about, well, you know, certain men ain't this, certain men ain't that. You need to start differentiating between the men that you're talking about. So you need to say, well, these ain't shit men. Well, guess what? When you're talking about ain't shit men, you need to keep that shit over there. Don't even talk about ain't shit men. Talk about the good men that some of y'all women just choose to skip over and don't want to mess with because, you know, they might be boring. Because they might be this, because they might be that. Pick the good men, and you won't have to worry about having ain't shit men. That's all I want to say, man. Because we have a lot of women that always want to bring up the ain't shit men. Anytime we have an argument with somebody, well, like somebody said, well, you know, majority of men, ain't taking care of their kids, which is false. But we always want to bring up, when you have sisters, they always want to bring up the men that don't take care of their kids. They want to bring up the men that are in jail. Well, what about the men that's just average, that are actually just living life and doing what they're supposed to do as a man? Don't want to bring that up because a lot of women overlook them. So it's just like, man, to be able to talk down on men, you have to bring up the bad men. She's breaking it down, and she's sitting here saying, man, look, women pretty much a lot of you women are selfish. Ain't no such thing as 50-50 in no marriage. She has it. She has it down pat. So she know what a good man is. I'm pretty sure she's probably gonna go out there and go find one. But you have a lot of women that say they want a good man, but go out and go date a pookie. And then when we get in an argument, then as well, or when we have a debate, then as well, y'all got shitty men, some of these damn black men are trash and this and that. And it's like, well, you're talking about the ones that you keep picking. You're talking about the ones that you keep putting yourself around. There are a whole lot of men that do what they're supposed to do. There's a whole lot of men that go to work, that pay their bills, that do their taxes, and that just want a simple life. But once again, women will overlook those men and jump straight to Pookies and Ray Rays and then try to base all black men around that. Can't do that.
So,
are men still expected to be the sole providers?
I would say it depends on background and culture. I would still lean more towards yes in this society. You do have a lot of women out there that can hold it down on their own. Now, those are proven facts. A lot of women now don't need men. But I would still say that for the majority of women, they do rely on men to hold it down.
So then what would be the incentive for a man to get married?
To have children.
Is there anything a married couple can do that an unmarried couple can't do?
No.
So why would a man need to get married if he can have children without being married?
Well, out of wedlock.
Well, because you don't want to have that kid to grow up in a bad household, right? You don't want to have that kid to grow up in a bad household, being raised by one parent, right? Now I understand that, hey, they can still be together. They don't have to be married. They can still be together. You know what I'm saying? And it's very understandable. It's just like, man, look, if I'm gonna jump into marriage, right, with this woman, it's a good chance that if we do divorce, I'm losing my money and the kid's probably going too. But if I don't get married, but I have all the same, everything is the same, but in marriage, the only difference is it's not written. So we have the kid, we can have the house, we can have all this stuff. The only difference is we're just not married, right? But it's just like, still at the end of the day, me personally, I think, men and women should get married. I believe in marriage. I think that's a marriage is a beautiful thing. Now, in today's society, I don't know, but marriage is still a beautiful thing. These questions will have you think. But me personally, I think marriage is most definitely important. I think marriage is most definitely important, and I also think to some degree, it gives kids an example of what life should be like. Hey, you should want to get married, you should want to have kids, but like I said, man, hey, look, he will have you think.
I mean, I think the incentives for anyone to get married are a loving relationship and to start a family.
Yeah. Is there anything a married couple can do that an unmarried couple can't do?
I don't think so. I think it just signifies a bigger commitment.
Yeah.
What are the incentives for a man to get married?
Realistically, there aren't any.
Is there?
Show us your boobs.
Oh, no, thank you.
That's how you handle catcalling.
Exactly.
I love it.
That's, men, no incentives.
I love how you handle that. That was great. Okay, is there anything a married couple can do that an unmarried couple can't do?
No. Really?
Yeah,
if you think about it, no. If you're dating and then you get married, nothing should really change. Except for, the status.
Should the over 50% divorce rate be a concern of his?
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Is marriage a wise financial decision for a man?
I mean, there's tax breaks for it, so...
Yeah.
Should the over 50% divorce rate be a concern?
I think so, yes, but I also think a lot of people now are more getting used to the idea of commitment.
Yeah.
Okay. Should the fact that divorce laws favor women be a concern?
Divorce laws in certain cases do favor women, especially with families, but in a lot of situations they can be just as favorable to the man.
Yeah.
Women typically get alimony and child support. Men typically have to pay all this money and lose half of their stuff. Should that be a concern of men getting married?
If they're confident in love, then they shouldn't worry.
Right, but I mean, do you think that anyone who ever got divorced wasn't in love going into it?
No.
No?
Yeah, sometimes. If
Right.
people use them.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if there's no incentive for a man basically to get married, why should a man risk losing half of everything he has for something that doesn't really benefit him?
Well, why should a woman?
Because men typically are the ones with more assets going into marriage than women are?
Not in this day and age.
Really? So you think that most women will marry a man who has less than she does? That doesn't typically happen. Most women are more likely to marry for money, and they've done that throughout history, don't you think?
Yeah, but I think times are changing and women are getting more opportunities.
Do you think that hypergamy also?
You know, he's making a good point, man. Look, a female is not going to downgrade. Generally, women are not going to downgrade it. Like, you look at some of these women, you look at some of these high status women, these women that got tons of money. They're generally not going to date down. They're generally not going to date somebody, man, that makes less than them, or that's not even making close to what they're making. Like, they're always going to date somebody that's making a little bit more than them or way more than them. But you generally never see them date down. And generally, if they do date down, the relationship doesn't tend to be, it tends to lack a lot of respect on the man's side, because women tend to be very combative when they have that money, because it's like, man, shoot, if you think about it, when you have your men, a lot of men who make tons of money, it gives them that certain leverage. So when you have women that's making tons of money, they think, well, you know what? Because I'm making all this money, I have that leverage. So I can be the woman that I truly want to be, because I got money to back that up. And it's like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So, one of the chicks was saying, man, it's the same thing for women. Women can get, effed over in a marriage. Not really. Your women win 65 to 90% of your custody battles. Women are initiating 70% of your divorces. Right, so it's like women will forever be winning this stuff, man. Women will forever be winning in marriage, custody battles, which is why he's asking. I mean, look, the divorce rates are high, marriage rates are low. And given the fact that women are winning all of these custody battles, winning all these divorce cases, what incentive, like what would be the reason for a man to say, you know what, hey, will you marry me, when he essentially will be losing by even asking that question?
Also known as marrying up is learned or natural behavior?
I was gonna say natural.
That's
it depends on.
It's societal.
I was gonna say it depends on how you're raised.
Well, no, because your type is based off of what society tells you your type is.
Do you think that the Cinderella story or romantic comedies have had any influence?
A little bit.
No, 100%.
I mean, don't women want to marry a rich prince?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so aren't women kind of like encouraged to like look for the highest, status guy they can find?
But I feel like there's a lot of women out there that want to be like bigger for themselves and don't want to be like belittled by a man. So why would you put yourself in the perspective of like they're doing better than you?
Okay. Is asking to sign a prenup considered insulting?
No. I don't think so. I think prenups should be discussed between every couple.
Why wouldn't a woman be in favor of a prenup to reassure her man that she's not marrying him for his money?
I guess she doesn't want to seem like a gold digger.
So wouldn't it make more sense for a woman to be the first one to bring up a prenup?
Yeah, they should.
So why don't they?
I guess they're trying to save face and not seem as a gold digger.
When it comes to relationships, why won't women go half on anything financial except divorce?
Technology and culture. Women are pretty much trained through technology and Instagram and stuff to have the guy cover everything. The thing is that some of these guys are doing it.
No, I think that's starting to change.
How so?
Like, personally, I know a lot of my friends have started, like, when they go out with their boyfriends, they split everything 50-50. Like, they'll get separate checks. Even if they've been dating for 5, 6, 7 years, they'll split everything 50-50.
I'm the kind of person that just likes to buy everything because it's
like
how
I feel
I
guilty.
show my appreciation. I also feel guilty, yeah.
If a guy gives you an engagement ring and he calls off the engagement, should you give the ring?
Man, I think that's false, man, because I think any female, we're living in the modern day women will sit up here and get upset with you for simply saying, you know, hey, and you know what? See, some women, I think they get it to the point where they saying, you know what? We keep asking for equality, right? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to bring it up. But if we go out and you do bring it up, I'm going to say, you know what? That's fine. Hey, we can go 50-50. But best believe you ain't going to hear from me again. Best believe you ain't going to hear from me again. These same women will be sitting up here saying, well, you know, he told me, man, he wanted to go 50-50 on the check. I went half, but it's like, bro, like, no, I want somebody, man, that's going to take me on a date, that's going to pay for it off rip. And continuously, it always happens. Now, of course, when you get, you know, deep into the relationship, of course, a woman at some point is going to want to start picking up the bill. I understand that. But majority of the time, 90 to 95% of the time, who's paying that bill? It's going to be the men. It's going to be the men. As far as the prenups, that's something that you should. That's something that should be the first thing that you even talk about before marriage. If marriage pops up, then you need to say, hey, well, prenup. You know, let's go ahead and start talking about that prenup too. Because oh, and another thing, even when guys divorce, right? Let's just say a female divorce a guy, right? Might lose the kids, lose half of everything, and alimony. Crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. You know, the prenups, man, you gotta have that, man. You gotta have that. And so many women will get upset and feel some type of way when you do ask them about the prenup because, you know, number one, these females just love to sit up here and say, well, you know what? You're asking me about a prenup. That means you just don't trust me. And then they will jump over here into, well, given that the fact that you don't even trust me, you're going into marriage assuming that the marriage will fail. No, we're not. Don't play that. Don't play that game. Do not play that game. That is not what this is. That's not what this is about. It's about me protecting myself. It's about me protecting myself. And the fact that I'm gonna sit up here and protect myself, I'm not going to allow somebody to get over on me. I'm not going to allow somebody to get over on me. Because once again, divorce rates are high. And when divorce happens, women are getting half of that stuff. So women don't want to think about that right then and there. They just want to go ahead and get that paper signed, get that marriage paper signed, and boom, boom. And then when shit hits the fan, it's time to get divorced. Then it's, well, you know what? Well, hey, I want half of his stuff. And it's like, man, well, damn, girl, I thought you wasn't here for the money. Well, here come all the reasons as to why she need the money, as to why she want half. So, get that prenup signed, man. Save yourself that trouble. Get that prenup signed and save yourself the trouble.
Back.
Depends on what the guy did. If he cheated, no.
If a guy gives you an engagement ring and you call off the engagement, should you give the ring back?
Yes.
If a guy gives you an engagement ring and he calls off the engagement, should you give the ring back?
No.
Yes.
Oh, if he calls off the engagement ring, that's yours.
The engagement ring?
All right. If a guy gives you an engagement ring and you call off the engagement, should you give the ring back?
Yes. I think it goes both ways.
No, because if he's the one that calls off the wedding after giving it to you, that's not a you choice and it's considered a gift.
But me personally, I give it back.
I wouldn't.
If marriage is supposed to be an equal partnership, why does a woman get an expensive engagement ring but a man doesn't?
I mean, I think that's just like systemic. Like that's just.
Think about it. Women, man, get these. They be wanting this fat diamond ring. They like my girlfriend said, you know, shoot, I want it, man. I want a heart-shaped wedding ring. A heart-shaped wedding ring. I was looking all up and through David Yearman to see some shit like that, and I couldn't even freaking find no heart-shaped diamond ring. But the thing about it is, these women get all of these. The women get these crazy big fat rings or whatever. And I remember asking my girlfriend. I said, man, hold on. I said, what do men generally get? Like, I've never seen a man get no wedding ring or something like that. Like, what do we generally get? And anytime I see a man that's married, they have like I don't know. She said that men get a band or something. Either get a band or they get like a black ring or a gold ring or something. Like a gold or black solid ring. I'm just like, well, damn, but that probably only cost like $200. But you want me to go out here and go spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a wedding ring? That's crazy. And you know, hey man, look, if I pop a knee, ask you to marry me, you say yes. But then, you know, I don't give a damn what happens. If I ask for that ring back, I better get my ring back. I know that much. I better get my ring back. And look, and another thing is, you see how some of these women, man, it's like some of these girls, you can see that they have that feminist feminist mindset just a little bit on some of these girls, just a little bit, because it seems like a lot of these women have the actual concept of, you know, the differences between a man and a woman. It seems like they know. It seems like they have a concept, but then sometimes it's like they kind of get in that, to get that selfish mindset in there, or that feminist mindset in there. You know, but yeah, if I give you that ring and I want that ring back, I best to get it back. I know that. I best get it back.
It's what's happened for the last 1,000 years.
But like, I feel like the man's wedding ring is the one that is more expensive than the female wedding ring.
And it's more symbolic, but you know what I find funny is that men don't wear their wedding rings.
That is also
true.
true.
A lot of men don't.
Actually, related to that, why is it that a woman will wear a fake wedding ring to repel men, but a man will wear a fake wedding ring to attract women?
You know what's so funny? I'm wearing one right now.
Why is that?
I think it just is like, for me, like, it's just a thing to like keep the weirdos away.
Right, but are you aware that the opposite is true for men?
Me personally, not. Like, I can see it in like other women because it's just kind of that, it's more of the factor of like you can get what somebody else has. And like sometimes like that feels good. Like you always want to come out like the winner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you always want to.
So it's competition, and like if you feel like you're doing better than somebody and you can get what they have, it feels good. But for me, it's just like, nah, like don't talk to me. You're in a committed relationship. I'm good.
Do you think it's true that women generally want what they can't have?
Yes.
Yes.
So then wouldn't you say that chasing women is terrible advice for men?
Yes.
Because if he chases you, he's telling you, you can have me.
I think a lot of women will want what they can't have, but a lot of men will not take a no from a woman that they would respect it from a man.
Yeah.
Why are there women quick to reject a man that lives with his mom, but quick to accept a man that lives with his wife?
Because women suck.
I guess because.
I answer it just seems that he's well off. I mean, you got if you living with your own, if you're living with your wife, you're married, see, you tend to seem well off. You tend to seem well off. But if you're a man, you living with your mom, for a lot of women, you're a bum. Even if you're trying to get on your feet and do whatever the hell you got to do, you're still considered a bum. I mean, and as a man, you just have to understand that, and then you have to accept that. You have to understand it. You have to accept it. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. You can't go to a club, pull a damn girl, and then say, hey, well, you know, hey, come back to my crib. My mom upstairs. She's asleep. Just chill. She's not gonna respect that, bro. She's not gonna respect that. But sometimes, I'm not gonna say all the time, but sometimes you got women, man, who will mess with a man that has a wife. To them, they saying, okay, well, obviously a man. He's obviously a man. He has his wife. 9 times out of 10, he's well off. More than likely, he is well off. Not in all cases, but more than likely, he is well off. So some women will have a bit more respect for a man that's living with his wife than a man that's living with his mom, because a man living with his mom just doesn't look good. And yes, men that are married tend to seem well off versus a man that is still living with his mom.
Because there's a stigma, if you live with your mom, then you're a bum, but I don't believe that, but a lot of women think that.
Would women prefer to be the emperor's mistress or the peasant's wife?
Probably the emperor's mistress, because I guess it's like a higher...
So women would rather share a high-value man with another woman than have an average man all to herself?
I feel like a lot of women would want that, probably, most likely.
It sounds like most women are gold diggers, huh?
There's a lot of those out here.
Is giving birth more of a privilege or burden for women?
Burden.
Is providing for a family more of a privilege or burden for men?
A privilege.
How likely are men to leave if their wife can't bear children?
Most likely.
How likely are women to stay if their man can't provide?
Not likely, nah.
Can we conclude that providing is more of a burden for men because women are less likely to stay?
Yes.
Can we conclude that providing is more of a burden for men because women are less likely to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't marriage vows say for richer, for poorer, and sickness and in health?
Yes. Okay. A lot of people don't abide by that.
Why do so many women feel the need to proudly...
We're going to leave it right there, man. The video about to wrap up, man. But So nothing better, yo. We're gonna listen, man. We're gonna be doing a whole lot more of these, man, because we need to. Like, I think this is something, man, that we need to watch. This is something that we need to listen to. This is something that we need to like. You can actually, in a sense, learn something from this. In a sense, learn something from this and understand the differences between men and women. This is what this channel is about. The understanding the inconsistencies between men and women. That is what his channel is all about. You know what I'm saying? So yes, most definitely, we gotta do more. We gotta do way more videos, man. We gotta do way more videos, man. You know, he has you thinking. He will have you thinking. And like I said, this is something that is good, man, because now, you know, now, like, you have those people that thinking, I'm pretty sure they're gonna leave and they're gonna be like, damn, like, I ain't know men and women that were that really different. I didn't know there was that, I didn't know men had that many problems. I didn't know men were looked at this way. You know, I'm looking at them a certain way, and I'm not even understanding that I'm looking at them that way. You know, so, you know, like I said, man, you know, I think this is, you know, this is an eye opener. You know, they're gonna ask you questions that's gonna make you think, and the questions might seem very simple, but you know, some of these questions, it will have you thinking. And once again, it also exposes the inconsistencies between men and women. Right, but it also shows you, man, who has roles and what roles got to be played. And yes, I do believe men have to carry most of the burden in marriage. I mean, once again, men have to perform a certain way. Women generally, if you want to be technical, women can sit on their ass and do whatever the hell they want to do, as long as they have a man that's willing to provide for them. Men have to go work. If men do not go out and go work, and a woman is out here working, that man will be considered a bum. Literally, he will be considered a bum. But if it's the other way around, the woman sitting on her ass doing nothing, but the man is out here providing, oh shoot, hey, you know, go ahead, do your thing. You got a man that's willing to suck your toes after working 48 hours in one day. You got a man, yes, 48 hours in one day. You got a man that's, you know, that's willing to provide for you. You got a man that's willing to put some clothes in your kids' back. You don't really have to do much, sis. What do? I don't do shit, baby. I don't do shit. I just sit on here and mind my business. And he go out there, go fetch that money, go bring home the food and everything. I just cook. That's it. Hell, I barely do that. Like, man, I'm telling you, women have it easy in the marriage. Men have it harder. Men have to provide. Women don't have to do as much, but men have to do a lot. You know, so, you know, like I said, he will have you thinking, man. But like I said, y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe.